So I'm back with more exciting Diablo 4 news. Recently there was the latest quarterly update, so we've been given more environmental details on what the new world of Diablo 4 is going to look like. So one of the things they're really pushing with Diablo 4 is their new environmental technology and the fact that it's all seamless, that they no longer have like fixed assets. It's a new tile system, so they all interlock and connect seamlessly. Another thing that they're really emphasizing in this new pillar of design philosophy, as they call it, is that they're returning Sanctuary back to a dangerous and dark medieval gothic world. Now, while I did enjoy Diablo 3, there were some areas that just didn't really feel like they were dark and grimacing. It wasn't a world filled with demons and, you know, ghoulies around every corner. They were light, bright and happy. And while this wasn't necessarily a bad thing, it certainly was a change that was something that I wasn't used to, because in Diablo 2 it always had this dark, dingy depression to it. You almost felt like you had to watch something happy after playing through the full campaign, and this is what they're returning to in Diablo 4. It's dark, it's oppressive, it's not a feel-good experience, and this is what they're going for in Diablo 4. They're making this horrible, nasty world filled with demons that just need culling and sending back to hell. And one of the things that they said, which I really like, is that they're setting out to do things that are believable but not realistic, that you actually believe that you're in the world that they're creating. And to do this, they're going to be using weather and lighting to play a prominent role. And that's the beauty of these new trailers that they've put out. You don't need me here to sit and explain it and describe the environments that they're in. You just look at them and you absorb the feeling that they're trying to portray. So speaking of the trailers, there are a whole host of them. There's some new areas, there's some that I haven't heard of, probably some that I've forgotten, some that are quoted forgotten places in the world. And these are, you've got the Skosglen Coast, the Orbai Monastery, the settlement of the Kyovo Shad, and the dungeons of Sanctuary. Now, I made a video on the fact that they've said that they're going to put in 150 plus dungeons, but there is a little bit more that they've said about this, and it reads as the following. They said, new dungeon features such as seamless floor transitions or traversals are exciting. But my favourite new feature is what we call tile set transition scenes. These are scenes that allow us to connect two different tile sets together in the same dungeon. And the use case that they outline for this, they say, imagine running through a crypt only to find a hole in the wall that seamlessly leads you deeper into a vast underground cave network, all while keeping the randomized layouts that change with each dungeon run. So this is where I'm getting slightly confused. I don't know if that means that we're now having seamless tech, so you find a hole in the wall, you go through it, and then you're in the other dungeon, rather than you find like a glowing door, you go through it, and everything then loads up. Now, I know which one I prefer. I like the idea that it's just seamless, that you run through and just the experience is just one thing to the other. But I don't know if that's what they're meaning. That's the general impression that I do get. Now, the last thing I want to talk about is my favourite of all the clips. I'm not going to go through all of them because I feel it's just pointless, but I do want to talk about the Wretched Caves. It has my favourite class in there, which is the Druid. I'm really looking forward to see their implementation because it wasn't in Diablo 3. But more importantly, you just get to see the world and the cave system and how it's all connected together, the amazing audio in the background. And what I really loved about this scene is that the actual sound and music in the background gave me the heebie-jeebies just as much as all the dark green evilness of the cave system that you're exploring. They've really managed to recreate a cave. I love the fact that the stalagmites sit over your head as you're running through, so you feel like you're in an enclosed space. Even when you're running, you can hear your feet slapping against the dusty rock surfaces. And I love all the little details. You can see the candles and you can see the skulls that set up little lighting scenes, the way your shadows work if you go around a corner and the light's blocked off. There's just so much beautiful environmental detail. Now, I'm probably paying this much attention because there's no enemies on the screen at the moment. Diablo is synonymous with thousands of enemies coming at you and using big spells to spray gibs all over the place. So I have to see how the two connect up when we finally see some full gameplay. And the last thing that I want to touch on, I know it is pre-alpha. They say that it's pre-alpha. It's even labelled in the video that it's pre-alpha. But you can definitely see that it's pre-alpha. The FPS is low and kind of there are little just movements with the models that seem a little bit janky. So I'm very excited to see how it's all going to connect together, and with big enemy packs coming at you and just how fluid everything is going to be. Anyway, the rest of this is just me driveling on and fanboying over the videos, so let me know what you think in the comments below. If we get enough of them, we will do another video just discussing them. But until then, have a great week everyone, and I'll be back with more news and reviews soon.